and also the small is screener. Or the screen is smaller, for heaven's sake. Okay. Hello, and welcome to a cell phone recorded shorter version of the Nordic Stitches podcast. I am Lilli, I am your hostess, and I am coming to you from central Norway. I'm a knitwear designer, and I welcome new and returning viewers. It's been a while since I did this, and things are going to be a little weird. Also, I'm doing my very best to stare at the little camera, so if I don't blink a lot, it's not because I have turned into a psychopath since last, it's just that I am extremely focused. This podcast is now Norway's biggest, at least video podcast, with a new milestone that we hit in January. 6,000 followers. Wow, it is amazing. That's on you, so thank you and yay for that. I'm not hosting a giveaway for any more milestones like that until we hit 10,000, if that should ever happen. I have a couple of announcements. One is about a sale that is going on for a few more days, and the other announcement is something that I can't talk about without crying, so I'm gonna insert that at the end. Otherwise, if you are interested in anything that I am up to, you can follow me in social media like Facebook. There is a group over there, there's a business page over there, there's also my patterns on Ravelry, and you can follow me on Instagram. And Twitter. That was my dishwasher, which I now need to go and stop. Right. Everything that I talked about before I had to leave you for a few seconds, for you that was just a little blink. Anyway, everything is linked down below this video. Just click on show more, whatever that says in your language, and scroll your way and find whatever you are looking for. Since this is recorded on my phone today, I am not going to take a lot of time to fix those show notes. So they will be probably just a copy from last time. I'm sorry. I'm doing this on my phone because my PC is kaput, and well, I can't afford a new PC at this present time. I am saving up for it these days. Yeah, enough about that. I'm saving up for a new PC. I will just record this podcast and perhaps one more. And hopefully in April I will be back at full speed ahead. All right, the announcement that I was referring to, what is my February sale over on Instagram, and I can't see you. That's no wonder, actually. I always do that, don't I? I sit down to record and I end up fixing my glasses. Anyway, so there is a February sale in the name February, so if you're watching this when it comes out before March 1st, and that is Oslo time, you can enter the code FEB in capital letters and 25, so Feb25, all in one word, at checkout in Ravelry. That gives you 25% off everything in my shop. And the reason that I'm saying this here is because I know that I have a lot of you guys who do not follow me in social media, which is where I've been promoting this the entire February. And because of this computer lacking issue of mine, I haven't been able to update you. But I did found an app that I can edit videos with for my phone. But the problem with doing this on the phone is that it really tires out a phone. Because you have to charge it and charge it and charge it, and also the small is screener. Or the screen is smaller, for heaven's sake. Okay, so that's that. There's no restrictions to this code at all. Feel free to share it with everybody you know, and yeah. Like I said, single patterns, clubs, and collections, go wild. Link is down below. Wow. Yeah. Goodness me, that was good. Okay, so for knitting, like you know if you watched before, I am knitting on my Beavertoon kofte. A kofte is a Norwegian, well, Scandinavian. We can't take all the credit, like the Danes take all the credit for hygge. Also, sarcasm is a thing on this podcast, so don't take everything I say deadly serious and very literally. I do love the Danes. The Danes are very nice. But Norway also has the word hygge. Just putting that out there. A kofte is, like I said, a Scandinavian traditional color work pattern. I may go a little crazy. You can see here that it is starting to look a little long. It's not going to be a kofte anymore. So I'm gonna steek it. Those lines you see at the middle there is going to be steeked, and I'm gonna knit a button band up, I think. It may just end up like a long jacket or something, but I have decided that I will knit this until I run out of this yarn, because I am on a yarn diet this year. I won't buy any yarn unless I need it for something specific, and I don't have any idea what else to use with this yarn, because this is the second time that I'm using these actual colors for a open jacket like this. The yarn is Røma Lammull, which is a Norwegian commercial yarn. It is 100% Norwegian. The sheep's wool is Norwegian. The production is in Norway. It's sourced in the most ethical ways. It's all that jazz. There's several resources online where you can get Norwegian yarns, and I highly recommend this lamb's wool. It is my favorite yarn ever when it comes to commercial yarns, and it is a non-superwash wonder. I love non-superwash yarns. I just love it. So yeah, this is how my Beavertoon kofte is looking, and the reason that you do not see the sleeves. This is my trick to avoid the sleeve island that everybody keeps referring to. So this is a top-down pullover, meaning that you knit this part here, you separate for the sleeves and the yoke, well, the bottom. So I always do the sleeves first, because when I'm done with a bigger portion of work, I don't want to have to go back and do more. So, well, that's at least how my mind works. So I knit the sleeves first, then I just tuck them in, and I tie them, and I just leave them in there so that, you know, they're not flopping about and being all about being in my way. That's a very weird sentence. Also, not going to be able to edit this as much. Maybe you want to see the sleeves. I can do that. Also, Røma Lammull, which is the yarn that I was talking about. Details about this is on my Ravelry project page, also linked down below. So if you want to know exactly the colors, you can. So this is what it looks like with the sleeves. I did not follow the pattern from this point. I cast on different amount of stitches underneath the sleeves. I decreased to fit my arms, and I did that by trying it on as I knit. That's the key. Taking the time to try it on. And yeah, let's see if I can show you how long it is right now. So, oh, I thought I was longer. Anyway, this is approximately, okay, so I'm at the thigh part now. And I am just going to, like I said, knit on this until I don't have more yarn. I'm using 2.5 millimeter needles on this entire thing, which is one of the reasons why it's going a little slower. I cast this on Christmas Eve 24th in Norway, and there's been a lot of days and weeks that I haven't knit on this. It's actually a little quicker than I'm, you know, giving it cred for. So yeah, Virgin, yay! I think this needs to be a thumbnail. So this is going to be show you how I do the thumbnail thing. Yeah? Cool? Is that good? So yeah, I absolutely love this pattern. So I finished a pair of socks. Ooh, coffee. It's more like a sit down and chat with me kind of episode today. Also check out my Arctic mug. I got this at the Arctic Circle when I moved south. Well, I didn't move south. I moved from the northern parts of Norway and here to mid-Norway. I left my syntax somewhere and I can't find it. Anyway, I got this in May last year when I moved from the Arctic, which is above this red line. So for everybody who keeps thinking that Norway has the perfect climate, oh my god, we don't, because, you know, global warming is a thing and even we notice that. And above this red line you have polar nights, which is no sunrise, and the further north you go, the darker you get. And in summer, above this line, you get no sunset. So you have, and the further north you go, the more sun. And this is turning into a geography lesson. Anyway, I moved from approximately here, Lofoten. It says Lofoten, but I moved from Vesterålen and all the way down and almost to Trondheim. So I live very close to Trondheim. It's only a train ride away. I will be moving again later this year for several reasons. One of them has to do with the announcement at the end. Anyway, back to the socks. Catch my breath. Love that. Okay, so these are Christmas socks. This is Biff Sugar Yarns sock set. This was a yarn fluff on my nose. This was a 100 plus 20 gram sock set from Biff Sugar Yarns. Wonderful Allison also has the Biff Sugar podcast. And this is the North Pole sock set. Amazing. I love it. Also, it didn't pool just because. Also, I have hiccups a lot of times. It's not really hiccups, it's just this thing that I've done my entire life. Not relevant. Anyway, it doesn't pool just because of how it's speckled. I guess here it's a little bit, but I really don't think that counts. I just love so much this pair of socks, and it is my 6th pair of Christmas socks because I am shamelessly copying Amy of Stranded Dye Works and the Stranded podcast of knitting up myself a few Christmas socks. I'm aiming for 12 days of Christmas starting on Christmas Eve just because I don't celebrate Christmas until actual Christmas. I do Advent first, so which you know if you've been here for a while because I do Vlogmas every year. I've done them 3 years now. Wow. Anyway, you can totally see my bra strap. Professional. Okay, next up. Just gonna reach for it. I've dabbled into embroidery. I said I was gonna do that last summer, but life, chronically ill with pain and fatigue and all that jazz, and just at some point something's gotta give. And next year I will have to give up designing knitting patterns full time, which was a whoa. It's taken a long while for me to accept that. Anyway, there's oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that. All over the place. I am preparing a summer shorties sock club. This year I'm collaborating with a yarn dyer, which I will be back to when everything is finalized. But I am super excited about this. And this time the yarn wow, this is me, non-edited. This is why my podcast is edited, because if not, you would have had to listen to 10 to 15 minutes of right? Anyway, something's gotta give when you don't have a lot of hours during the day where you function very well. And like I said, next year I will have to stop designing full time. I will still design, maybe just a few patterns here and there. Anyway, the sock club, well, it's not a club, it's just a collection of ankle socks, which is super fun because they take half the time because there's no leg. It's just a rib and just straight onto the heel and the foot. And last year was a very big success, and this year there will be 5 patterns, and they're all ready to be knit up. I'm actually working on the first pair right now. I have a lot of test knitters that will be receiving their patterns as soon as I am back in business with a new PC, hopefully late March, early April, no later than mid-April. And there will be 5 patterns all in one collection. This collection will not be offered as anything else. There will not be a knit along for it. And the patterns in there will not be offered as singles patterns this time. So if you think you may be interested, how about heading over to my Ravelry and checking out on my front page, which is linked down below, and check out the collections tab a little down on the page on the right. Just because if you do that and you knit a pair or 2 of those socks, which are available as singles patterns by the way, and you like it, you're a lot more prepared for this year. Yeah. Like I said last episode, I'm not done designing. I'm done releasing single patterns to Ravelry. 2 very different things. Something else that's gonna have to give is something that I tried and loved, which was embroidery. I was watching Elizabeth from the Solapalooza Knits podcast. She's a wonderful lady from Bergen in Norway. Just gonna remove some dead skin from my nail. Elizabeth is a friend of mine. She's absolutely wonderful, and she's worth a watch and a follow and all that jazz. And she started embroidering, and I was like, okay, I've said I wanted to start embroidering for so long. I'm just gonna do it now, because she was embroidering these designs from this maker that I shamefully do not remember the name of, but it is linked in the video previous podcast, I think. If not, just message me and I will tell you. It's also linked on Instagram. So this is the embroidery that oops, sorry, totally kicked the tripod. This is the embroidery that I finished. And it comes with this beautiful pattern and a hoop and needle and all the yarn you need and more, well, thread rather. And I just fell completely in love with French knots. So you can take a closer look. I love the front camera on this phone. So yeah, that's the first design that I did, and I love it. It is so delicate and so beautiful and perfect for spring and summer. So I think I'm just gonna hang it up in the hoop. I think that's a little stylish. The back, it does not look like this. That's all you need to know. And then Chrissy from Chrissy Crafts over on YouTube. It's been a while since she released anything on her channel, but she's got a ton of very pretty and down to the point, super easy to understand embroidery tutorials. And she had this stitch along last year, I think it was last year, that I really wanted to dabble into, and I just didn't. So I did this year when I was done with the heart. This is freestyle. This is not a pattern. She just takes you through video for video how to do each section, so everything comes out differently. And this is how mine looks. So there's a twig circle, wreath rather, and flowers. So what I opted for is, because I do love wildflowers. Wildflowers is my thing. So I wanted some roses and some heathers. So these are heathers, I hope. At least I think they look like heathers, which is sort of impressive. Tooting my own horn, by the way. Since I haven't really embroidered much since I helped my mom embroider one flower on my kistdrakt, which is something that I will be back to in May this year. It's basically a little bit different take on the Norwegian bunad, which is our folk costume that we'd like to dress up in May, and weddings and all that jazz. Not for funerals though. We do know how to wear black too. So yeah, this is my second one. This is supposed to have a word here. At this point, I'm just contemplating just embroidering word here, because I'm all out. I have no idea what to put in the circle. I've had a lot of suggestions, but I don't take suggestions for personal things just because, well, there's only so much you know about me by seeing me on the screen and following me on social media. And I don't want this to represent anything crafty. So I am, well, I love the hoop though. It's not called the hoop. Wow. It's almost 20 minutes of ramble right there. I cannot believe. Wreath! I love the wreath. This is a needle minder, and in the back I'm just gonna cover it is actually holding the needle with some thread, and I'm just tucking in the linen fabric over so it doesn't fall out. So I've done some embroidery. Do you embroider? Let me know down below in a comment. Do you have any amazing embroidery artists out there that make awesome patterns? I'm all for cursing patterns, by the way. So if you know anyone who has amazing takes on that, drop me a note down below. I will be cutting back on embroidering, but you know, you never know. So also, I will not be spinning as much this year, just because I have a lot of things going on that's not craft related. One of the things is a new YouTube channel. And before anybody goes, "Ah!" This podcast is safe. I will be handling 2 YouTube channels. The second YouTube channel will be born in April, hopefully, and it's all because of you. I have received so many questions from you guys these last almost 3 years now, well, 2.5 years since I started this podcast, about Norway and our customs and traditions and foods and all that. So yeah, I want to keep this channel knitting related and craft related, and so a new channel will be born. Yeah, you can head on over to my Instagram and check out a little bit more teasers about that if you're interested. No idea why I keep moving my embroidery to the sides. Okay, I have done some spinning. Last time I showed you this, and it is a 3-ply Navajo style on my drop spindle. I do have a wheel now. I was hoping to start spinning on it, but life, plans, not enough hours in the day, especially for me. So for now, I'm just enjoying the view of my antique spinning wheel. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do cover that in episode, in the previous episode, in the episode extra, where I talk about my incoming goodies. But I finished all the yarn. It's 100 grams in fiber that I was gifted from Shauna of the Shauna Stitches podcast. Haven't soaked or set the twist in this. No idea how many meters. but I do love how it came out. The fiber is from Curly Q's Fiber and Yarn by Carla Rose. And this is her information. It's Cheviot wool, and she sells from Facebook. So you can just pause that and type that into your browser. Also, I always write on where I get it from, so that when the yarn is finished, I hang this tag on there. I include how many meters and just pretend that was intentional. And I always know from whom I got that fiber. I have this for incoming goodies. If you do not know, last year my fellow spinner friend, well, she's a spinner extraordinaire and just a big inspirational source for spinning for me. She's Christine over at Storybook Fibers. She's got an online store and she's got an amazing Instagram feed. Very much worth checking out. She's been such a good help when it comes to my wheel. It's just amazing. Christine, thank you so much for taking all the time that you have taken into just explaining every single part of my wheel and how it all operates, and it is just so heartwarming. I'm so grateful. It is amazing to know that I have people like you in my life. I am so grateful. But that is not all, because last year Christine won a subscription, a 4 magazine subscription, so that is a year. And she could gift one for a friend, and she chose me. And I just, wow. I've loved the magazine so far, and this is Sock Yarn Special. It is amazing, and it is just... Ply magazine is definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. So thank you again, Christine and Ply. Okay, yeah, I think that was it for this time. There will be 1 or 2 more of these podcasts, plus at least one very special announcement video here on the channel. All recorded on my phone and edited on my phone, so excuse any glitches and mishaps. I'm doing my very best, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this ramble of a video. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope that you are well. I hope that you are having a marvelous crafty time. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're working on, where in the world you're coming from. 6,000 people. I mean, come on. Talk to me. Make this more than a monologue, and hit the thumbs up button and share the video with your knitting friends, and let's keep growing this community. I will be back in a week or 2 with a new shorter podcast episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.